as an animal is not something that is actually that new in games. You have other games like Goat Simulator, Man-Eater, First Tree, Octodad, and many others. But Stray puts you in the paws of a cute little ginger cat in a special and different way. After losing your friends and getting trapped in a forgotten city, you're looking for a way out. Exploring this cyberpunk post-apocalyptic city as a lost cat feels like a warm and welcoming experience even when you have to interact with humanoid robots that speak a different language. This part platformer, part traditional adventure game does a great job at telling a compelling story with some action here and there. There are a couple of things that could be different, but the game got me hooked in the first adorable, cute moments and minutes. Playing as a traditional normal cat with big brains though, you navigate through this futuristic world full of humanoid robots that seem totally unaware of their dystopian situation. The good thing is that these artificial beings don't seem to care for the fact that you are a cat, and they will interact with you in the most charming ways. Actually, they will pretty fast notice how useful your small size can be, since you can fit places that they can't. The presence of this fluffy cat breaks this gloomy vibe of this dark world, and sometimes you just feel like being a cat, doing cat things, like scratch things, knock things over, or just rub against some legs. Why not? And the cutest thing, you have a dedicated button for meowing. That button I thought was going to break on my controller. I pressed it so many times that my own cat, my real life cat, had to come by to see what was going on. But meowing can be also useful in the game, like calling your enemy's attention to distract them or to lead them to somewhere else. Besides that, I could not resist meowing to every single robot that I met in the game because I was just excited to see how they would react to it. Sometimes they are just annoyed, sometimes they get angry, or sometimes they just show a big heart on their computer screen faces. And as a typical normal cat, of course you can take a nap. That's what cats do, right? And every time you find a comfy place with some pillows, some blankets, you can take a nap there and just enjoy a scene of environment alongside some pretty cool futuristic soundtracks. The world is exceptionally rich and it's very enjoyable to explore it. The houses that you can get into, they are full of personality and full of elements that represent the characteristics or the interests and activities of that specific robot. This even brings more life into the game, since each character has a story, has dreams, interests. These characters are represented in a way that really tells a story without having to say a single word. Like the nerdy robot with his dark room and multiple computer screens, or the scientist who lived surrounded by mountains of books. Even though your cat's tale is pretty basic, it's easy to notice the complexity of this society and its inhabitants. Moving around as this little guy is not as flexible as I thought it would be, since you don't have a free jump button per se. You can only go to predetermined spots and hop on when you see a button that indicates that you can jump there. You mostly have to point your cat where you want to go and wait for this jump sign to show up to indicate that you can jump there. With that, falling or missing a jump is not really a thing. This does impact the exploration factor quite a bit, I would say, but it still feels fun during linear sections of the game. This also makes the game feel a little bit more relaxing, since you don't have to worry about making a wrong move or losing one of your 9 lives. In fact, the only way to do that is not through exploring, but during the missions, when, for instance, you're caught by these little mutated creatures called Zergs, or when you're caught by an electric charge of one of the police drones. And to be honest, They got me a few times, at least. To avoid being caught, you go through some stealth sections and avoid the drone's field of view that is well defined with laser scans. Sometimes you have to lure them into traps to incapacitate them or to just avoid them. At some point you get a weapon that kills Zergs and the gameplay quickly turns into a pattern of firing and running away to recharge over and over. But the game switches pretty nicely between these moments in a way that it doesn't get boring. When you're not jumping around or taking a nap, you'll be going through some linear platforming challenges and solving puzzles to progress in your story, or meeting robots and collecting items for them to complete tasks. Exploring these beautifully designed cities can be pretty exciting, and the vertical space is very well used. You have a lot of places to hop on. During exploration, there are some optional collectibles to be found, like memories of the past or music sheets that you can give to the guitar player so that he can play back to you. There are even some small side quests that you can complete, like taking down some cameras that are disturbing the privacy of the inhabitants, or finding secrets to open safes. There's quite some stuff to find, and I wasn't able to find them all during the almost 6 hours of my first playthrough. The robots, they behave in such a human-like way that it's really hard to not feel some kind of affection towards them and want to help them out. Each of them have a different personality and they behave differently towards you in the game. They also have a past and dreams. By assisting these characters, they help you to solve puzzles, get items, and move forward in your journey. You also have a special drone companion called BlueTwelve that you carry on your back. He's the only way you have to communicate with the robots, translate signs on the street, interact with electronic panels, and collect objects. BlueTwelve looks very cute on your back, by the way. I love it. The game is fun, it's fresh, it's different, it's cute, but it can also be grim sometimes. It brings a fresh and new experience that it's just special. The vibe can be gloomy sometimes, and it makes you think about life and consequences. Humans have disappeared for some reason, and this world is totally isolated from the outside, as they call it. I even met a curious stargazer that used a telescope to look at the fake stars of this artificial roof covering the city, and he would tell you how much he dreams about looking at real stars. Isn't this perfection? The graphics are pretty light. My computer was able to run with everything on max specs with no problem at all. But I noticed some stuff that were pretty funny and weird at the same time, something like that. Sometimes if you just touch an object, it would just explode and fly away as if it was made out of rubber, like a plant pot. So those little things were kind of fun to watch. Sometimes I would just jump on a window or something like that and I would see those plant pots just going everywhere around. It was pretty crazy, but it's also weird, isn't it? The camera position though is really cool. They got a very nice below position, so it's different from the usual top view that we always have from the character. The camera is actually a little bit more below, so the world looks even bigger and I love it. The only moments the camera would annoy me because it was so below was in moments like you have to hide inside a box, for instance, to hide from the security drones, but it's can be challenging to look to outside, to look where they are once you're inside the box, to see if it's safe for you to come out or not, because the camera just is kind of stuck on you. So it would be nice once you're hiding inside a box or something like that, that the camera would then just zoom out a little bit and you could have a better idea of the space. Since the cat can hear anyway, he could know from a further distance, from far away, that where that object is, where that drone is, if it's safe for him to come out or not. But the view is very strict if you're in small spaces. In general, the game is a fresh and very enjoyable experience, and it's perfect for those rainy weekend days that you can just take some hours on your couch to lie back and relax while you're enjoying some nice soundtracks, and just put down the lights, and just be comfy and not stressed out about anything. You just have to enjoy the ride, enjoy the story, enjoy the music, the soundtracks, which are pretty amazing, and just have a good time. Now, as a cat mama myself, I couldn't wait to play this game. I was really looking forward to it. Right, Peter? But I feel like they could have explored the cat experience a little bit further. For example, a cat's sense of smell is 14 times better than that of humans and infinitely better than that of robots. I'm pretty sure of it. Cats also can hear frequencies up to 3 times higher than us. With that, they have one of the broadest hearing ranges among all mammals. So I wish they had used these amazing facts about the felines to create new mechanics or new gameplay experience, like for example following sounds or smells to find some objects or characters, or even to avoid them, to avoid your enemies or something like that. Another thing that I noticed is that although you play as a cat, you see as yourself, you see as a human being. For example, when you're in the dark, you need a flashlight. Come on, wouldn't it be nice to be able to see in the dark for once? Maybe it's not really that relevant, but I think there was a bit more to be explored here. I think the possibilities are just endless. I have to say, I loved rubbing against all the legs that I could and scratching everything around and just knocking things over and over, just like my cat Peter, just like he does to me. I could have my revenge on robots. Comment meow below if you're going to try out this game, or if you have already, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any next video. See you in the next one. Bye!